we are back. It's been a while since I've done a stream, so I thought I'd do one after the crazy events that just unfolded at Fratton Park. Anyone? Thoughts on what has just happened? That is a mental fixture. 3-0 down, thinking we're dead and buried, back to 3-3. Wow. Anyone, just let me know what you think, really. It's been a long day. Leaving at 7 o'clock this morning to make it down. And now we're here. I need to tweet out quickly to put that we're alive, because sometimes a notification doesn't go out till it's finished, because it's a stupid thing like that. But let me know your thoughts down below. Season so far, and of course, are you happy with today's result? I don't think a lot of people are going to say they're happy with today's result, though. And I won't be surprised if they don't, because a point before today, no. But we kind of have to take the point now, don't we? Lucy's commented, why'd you leave at 7? Well, because I was at yours. I think you should know that. I had to come from Wigan all the way down, and then to Pompey, and then back out to Tesco, back home, and then to Fratton Park. If anyone's wondering, the video will be out, but it'll be out tomorrow, not today, because it's going to take me a while to edit this one, just to make sure I've got all the right things done for it. Darren says, hi mate, how are you, Darren? Happy with today's result, or are you a bit pessimistic about it, maybe? Hers is not a goal scorer, misses way too many chances, definitely. One key one for me today, down the right, whipped in and it hit his shoulder. As he tried to dive and header, it hit his left shoulder and went out for a goal kick. Like that just sums up George Hurst, really. Tyler Walker's even worse. O'Brien, we didn't start yet. He's played, 4 games for us? 4 games for us, scored 3 goals. Evidently, he's good enough, isn't he? So I don't see why he's not a player that we're looking at playing to start. Danny Kelly admitted he only changed it today to give more of an attacking threat. But quite frankly, I don't think that worked. I don't think it didn't work. We ended up 3-0 down within, 25, 30 minutes? Or we 2-0 down within 15, and then the rest of it unfolded. It wasn't great, was it? It wasn't great. Once I've tweeted this, I will get onto it a bit more. No, 3-3 not good enough. Exactly that. However, I think to look at it from before the game, you have to think, what are we doing drawing 3-3 with Fleetwood? But to look at it now, 3-0 down, 3 goals, back to 3-3. What can you do? It's positive, isn't it? Darren, positive is scoring 3 goals. Exactly that. We've managed to find the back of the net 3 times. I mean, the second one, I don't know what actually happened. I wish I did know what happened, but I don't. It got whipped in and everybody missed it. What am I doing? Doing the wrong thing, that's what I'm doing. Right. City says, afternoon, Blake. Afternoon, mate. How are you feeling? Lou said, limbs. Definitely. That's probably the biggest I've ever seen the front end erupt. Not in history, but in a long, long time. James had with the character to get a point, but put out of it. But a shocking start. Exactly. We left ourselves with a massive, massive mountain to climb. Theoretically, you're looking at that thinking we should be 1-0 up, we should be 2-0 up. But we've left ourselves 3-0 down and having to climb that mountain. The morale within the team has definitely improved. A month or 2 ago, we would not even score if we were 1-0 down. Exactly that. Curtis had a poor first half, but did what Curtis that seems to do best. Picked himself up second half and tried to get the team with him. O'Brien, what a player. Morel played well, but I think we relied too much on Morel for the first half of that game. Everyone was stood around him, expecting him to do everything. And you cannot expect a player on his own to do that. Did you make it to Spoons? I didn't make it to Spoons. Darren, coming over in August with the wife and kids, see my parents and watch the Mighty Blues. Love that, Darren. Hopefully we're in the Championship, but I very much doubt it. Talking of the Championship, should we have a look at today's results? Let's put that one up, so if anyone else isn't a Pompey fan. But we'll look at around the grounds, look at the results first. So in League One, Accrington defeated Wickham 3-2 after being sent down to 10 men as well. Bolton travelled to MK Dons and losing 2-0. Morecambe held Ipswich to a point 1-1. Oxford came from behind to beat Cambridge 4-2. Plymouth lost at home to league leaders Rotherham. Sheffield Wednesday, they beat Charlton 2-0 at Hillsborough. Wigan, the team that everyone said would win the league, were battered 3-0 by Sunderland at the DW Stadium. Gillingham boosted their relegation, their survival hopes with a 2-0 win away at Lincoln. Crewe, bottom of the league, managed to get an away win at Cheltenham 2-1. Shrewsbury got a 2-0 win to bounce back from Tuesday at Burton, and Wimbledon drew 2-2 with Doncaster Rovers. That means none of the bottom four lost today. That doesn't happen often, does it? So first of all, we're going to go through those fixtures. We're going to look at the top half first of all, because I think you can't just talk about Pompey's game. We're going to talk about the playoff race as it stands and the promotion race as well. So this is left to right, first to 11th. Oh, that's the wrong one I've just clicked. But anyway, we have Rotherham leading the table, 9 points clear of Wigan now. Wigan 2 games in hand, but still that's a long mountain to climb. MK Dons, Oxford, Sunderland and Sheffield Wednesday make up the playoff picture, with Plymouth, Wycombe, Ipswich, Bolton and of course Pompey leading the charge. Pompey 48 points from this season so far, 3 games in hand on Sunderland, 2 on the rest of them. So realistically, those games in hand, they must wins now, considering out of those teams, I think we have to play them all still, apart from MK Dons. We've got to play Rotherham at home, Wigan at home, MK Dons we've played twice. Oxford at home is, of course, our next game. Sunderland we've played twice, so we haven't got to face them again. Sheffield Wednesday is a 12:30 kickoff on the last day of the season. Plymouth comes up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Tuesday, away there. Wycombe, we've got to face them at home again, I believe. Ipswich, we have them away next Saturday. Bolton, we have away at the end of March. Ipswich not next Saturday, 2 weeks from today. And of course, then Pompey making up that picture. Where do you think we'll finish in the league? Where do I think we'll finish in the league? I would love to sit here and say 6th, but I think 8th. 8th is probably where I'll finish. Because games in hand will give us a bit of a lift, but I don't think they'll give us the lift that we need. They'll lift us up to a point where we can say, all right, that's a bit of a decent season. But the rebuild hasn't been good enough. It's a rebuild season, yes, but the rebuild, quite frankly, hasn't been good enough. And if you were to say this is a rebuild season, you've got to at least playoffs, really. But we have to take everything on the chin now, take everything as it comes to us, because realistically, we haven't deserved anything this season. Started off well without conceding goals, and then it went downhill. We picked it back up again and went downhill again. Darren says 8th. Yeah, probably about that. 48 points safe from relegation. Then, yeah, I'd say we're safe, just about. Unless we start losing games. We'll look at the bottom half of the table then, because I can't do a League One thing without looking at the relegation battle. Now, this is the other way around. It's going from bottom to the last team I think could be in with a chance of getting relegated. First of all, it's Crewe picking up an away win today, 25 points for them. Doncaster on 29 points. Gillingham lifted themselves off the bottom of the table a few weeks ago. They're now third from bottom with 30 points. Morecambe a point above them, making up the relegation zone at 31. Wimbledon, Fleetwood, Lincoln, Shrewsbury and Charlton then make up the rest of the teams I think could be in danger. Charlton Athletic, eh? Just 2-3 years ago, they were playing Championship football. Now they're only 8 points off relegation. If they're not careful, that could come back to bite them and they could end up playing League Two football. Evans up the Shag and Blues. Mate, if you want to join this, let me know. Come and join it. I'll have a chat. Message me if you want to join it and I'll send you a link, because honestly, I'm going to get bored talking to myself in a minute. What else was I going to look at? Big question, though, is can Pompey make the playoffs? Can they? Realistically, yes. Well, sorry. Theoretically, yes. Realistically, absolutely no chance. Did you get to Milton Arms? I did. Gillingham with Ben Thompson did much better. Should have got him. He wasn't available to us. He was only available to Millwall because of the links with, what's his name? Neil Harris. That's his name, isn't it? Who's their manager now. He wanted Ben Thompson in, so they got it. The bottom four is set, in my opinion. Do not see any other team slipping down. I would agree, but then stranger things have happened. You're looking at Morecambe. They're only 2 points off Wimbledon. Doncaster, I think, are down. They're 4 points off safety, having played 2 games more. Crewe, they are 8 points off of safety, played the same games. That's going to be ridiculously hard. They'd have to beat Pompey to do that. Morecambe, 2 points off safety, played the same. That could be a chance. Gillingham, 3 points off, played 1 more. I think Fleetwood, yes, they lost today, drew today. Fleetwood must feel like a loss. But the 2 points clear, yeah, of safety, but they also have 2 vital games in hand. Win one of them, and they're lifted above Lincoln. Lincoln, another team, in Lincoln and Fleetwood, both in the playoffs in the last couple of years, as well as Doncaster. They make up part of the bottom set of teams. Shrewsbury as well, playoff finalists when Rotherham got promoted the first time. Charlton won the playoffs 3 years ago. So if you look through that, you've got Charlton, Shrewsbury, Lincoln and Fleetwood, who are 16th to 19th. Teams that have played in the playoffs. Teams that have done well in the playoffs. Doncaster are 23rd as well. Been in the playoff final. Another playoff semi-final. Got to be careful on that one. Where's your dad at the pub? How is your dad at the pub now? He's not. He's at work. He didn't get to go to the game today because he's at work. I don't even think he's watching because he's busy. That's fun. On the bright end of it, we are starting to run again and form what we have seen. These Pompey runs will last a good while. I hope so. But you know what we're like. We'll beat Oxford on Tuesday and then lose to Accrington because that's just the way we are. But as it stands, Pompey 10 points off the playoffs. 1 game in hand on Sheffield Wednesday. We're 11 points off Sunderland, who we have 3 games in hand over. We are 8 points off Plymouth, who we have 1 game in hand over, and we've got to play them away. Wycombe, we are 7 points behind, 2 games in hand. Ipswich, we are 5 points behind, 3 games in hand. We've got to play them in a couple of weeks away. Bolton, we're 3 points behind them with 3 games in hand as well. Below us is Accrington, just 2 points separate those 2 teams, but we've played 2 games less. But the top of the table, who's going to win the league then, everyone? Will it be Rotherham or will it be Wigan? Will Wigan even get promoted? Do you know they've got the games in hand, but then they're not really using them, are they? Wigan, they now sit 9 points off at the top of the table with just 2 games in hand. Not the 3 or 4 or 5 games they had in hand when they were sat top. They've now got a limited number of games. MK Dons are joint on points with them now. Could we see before the end of this season MK Dons leapfrog Wigan into second position and Wigan actually managed to bottle it? Rotherham will bottle it. If you look at their previous results, they are slipping. Should we have a look? Well, if you look at their previous results, they are, how do I say this? Unbeaten since the 15th of January. So they aren't slipping. I wish I could say they were. But their league form at the minute is a win over Cheltenham 1-0. They're beating Crewe, Doncaster 5-0, Accrington, Wimbledon, Sheffield Wednesday, a draw against Wigan at home, and then back-to-back wins over Morecambe and Plymouth away. They beat Plymouth away today. They haven't lost since the 15th of January. I think it's pretty dead set that Rotherham will be playing Championship football again next season, and they'll be champions. They've only lost 2 games since... How many have they lost all season? I want to see how many games they've actually lost all season. Because it looks as though they haven't lost many. Because if I look at it, they lost to Fleetwood on the 15th of January, and they lost to Accrington on the 26th of December. Before that, I cannot find another loss. Way back before they beat us, so I don't think they'll bottle it. Albie says Rotherham win the league. Yeah, mate. Again, I agree with that. I think Wigan will go up because yes, you can say they're joint points of MK Dons and they're not using the games in hand well, but they've got games in hand. Like if they draw 1 game in hand, they're a point above MK, then aren't they? And they don't have to win anymore. They've lost 5, so they've lost 5 all season, 2 of which come in since they beat us 4-1, and I think they lost on the opening day as well, or something like that. I don't really know. Or they won on the or Plymouth. No, it was Plymouth, wasn't it? Because Plymouth went on a ridiculous run at the start of the season. Did you have a look? Was it Plymouth? What was it, Plymouth? It was, wasn't it? It was. Yeah. So Plymouth went Rotherham on the opening game of the season. Plymouth went ridiculous. It's a bit annoying that Google hasn't updated the Pompey badge. Plymouth slip it. Plymouth, yes, Albie. I know a couple of Plymouth fans, and they looking at their running as well. I did a thing a couple of days ago before we were supposed to play Crewe. I went on and had a look at who every single one of these chasing teams has to play. Now Plymouth dropped to 7th today. If we win our game in hand, we go within 5 points of them, and we have to play them. They're 2 points off playoffs, same games played. It's still very much doable. It's just going to be difficult for them now, isn't it, to refine that form? And I'll go on now to who every team's got, because I did see my nan today. Yes, I did. Where did I put it? It must have saved somewhere. Where did I did it somewhere where I put down who every single team has to play. And I don't know where I've put it, because I'm very stupid like that. And I like to think I've done it right, and I definitely haven't. Where have I put it? Aha, found it. Right, so MK Dons have left to play. They were third, and they still are. They were on 60 points when I made this. So this is including today's fixtures, and I think it includes last week's fixtures as well, because I didn't get the chance to update it. But MK Dons have, at home, they've got to play Bolton, Cheltenham, Wigan, Crewe, Shrewsbury, Sheffield Wednesday and Morecambe. Away, they've got Charlton, Rotherham, Cambridge, Wimbledon, Oxford and Plymouth. 13 games left to play, 6 against the top 11. So they've got a fairly hard run in. Now, second is Oxford, who are just behind them when this was made. Cambridge, Burton, Ipswich, Sunderland, MK Dons and Doncaster are their home games. No easy ones there. And they have trips to Crewe, Pompey, Shrewsbury, Morecambe, Plymouth, Fleetwood and Rotherham. 13 games to play, same as MK Dons, with 6 against the top 11. Now we have a look at Plymouth. And when I said Plymouth had a hard run in, I blooming well meant it. They have Rotherham, Morecambe, Wimbledon, Pompey, Accrington, Cheltenham, Oxford, Sunderland and MK Dons at home. And Cambridge, Bolton, Ipswich, Burton, Wickham and Wigan away. 15 games to play, 9 of which they will face the top 11 teams. Below them we have Wickham. Wickham have to play at home. Wigan, Cambridge, Rotherham, Fleetwood, Doncaster, Plymouth, Sheffield Wednesday. Away they have Accrington, Crewe, Pompey, Cambridge, Gillingham, Wimbledon and Burton. They've got 14 games to play. They've probably got less than this now, because this is when it was made. 5 of those against the top 11. Sunderland, Burton, Fleetwood, Crewe, Rotherham, Gillingham, Shrewsbury, Cambridge are their home games. I've gone off of it and can't find out where I've gone. Wigan, Charlton, Lincoln, Oxford, Plymouth and Morecambe, the away games there. 13 to play, only 4 of those 13 against top 11 sides. Sunderland have the easiest running. Sheffield Wednesday then. They have Charlton, Burton, Cambridge, Accrington, Cheltenham, Wimbledon, Crewe and Pompey at home. And they have Fleetwood, Lincoln, Gillingham, Bolton, MK Dons and Wickham away. That's 14 games to play, with 4 of them coming against the promotion and playoff chasing teams. We go down to Ipswich then. They have Cheltenham, Lincoln, Pompey, Plymouth, Cambridge, Wigan and Charlton at home. Charlton aren't a playoff chasing team, but they shouldn't be an easy win. Morecambe, Fleetwood, Oxford, Shrewsbury, Rotherham and Crewe are their away games. 13 games to play at the time of writing. 5 of those against the top 11. Not easy. Then we get to Bolton. Lincoln, Morecambe, Plymouth, Pompey, Sheffield Wednesday, Accrington and Fleetwood are their home games. MK Dons, Gillingham, Crewe, Wigan, Doncaster and the visit to Cheltenham are their away games. That's 13 games to play, 5 of which against the top 11. Now we come to Pompey, the final team in this playoff chase. Fleetwood, Oxford. We've already played Fleetwood, we drew it. Fleetwood, Oxford, Accrington, Wickham, Rotherham, Lincoln, Gillingham and Wigan are the home games. Crewe, Shrewsbury, Ipswich, Plymouth, Bolton, Cheltenham, Morecambe and Sheffield Wednesday are the away games. 16 games to play, 8 of those against the top 11. Not an easy run in whatsoever. Probably the second hardest. Tropical. And one of the games that we should have won, which is today, we've dropped points in. That's not going to help us whatsoever. Kenny did not last night lay an orient, did he? He did not. Now, I didn't know whether to expect this or not. Of course we expected it. We warned Leighton Orient, didn't we? We did tell them that no matter what they did, he was going to be the same old Kenny Jacket. So, yeah, it was plainly obvious that was never going to work out. Right, we'll have a look then. Next up for Pompey, Oxford United at home at Fratton Park. They're 4th in the league. Their previous game ended 3-2 to the O's, or to the U's, whatever they want to call themselves, at the Kassam Stadium just 2 weeks ago. Pompey put in a very good performance, but getting mugged off by another League One referee. So, it's always going to happen. Joe, I was over the moon for once as Sunderland won. Mate, that's not just a win for you, that's a massive win. Wigan away, and people getting results at Wigan away is rare. So, for you, well in. We'll have a look at Wigan's home form, because this is what Blake does when he's bored. Blake goes on about things that he doesn't even plan to go on about. Wigan's home form is 10th in the league. I thought they were good at home. Evidently not. I say that, they got better home form than us. Their away form's what gets them. They were the second in the league. Rotherham topped the league in both. Oxford have the second best home form in the league. But yeah, so we've got Oxford again on Tuesday. Played them 2 weeks ago and got mugged off because Joe Morrell got sent off. Never a red card. Played our hearts out. Nearly got 3 points. Then nearly got 1. 2 screamers ultimately denied us all any points whatsoever, and we came out with none. That's Pompey for you. If you don't support Pompey, you should know that it's painful. Days like today prove that. You're thinking, we're 3-0, we've lost. Oh, no. Pompey have managed to draw in the 95th minute because a player who didn't start's come on and scored again. Now, Sunderland fans did warn me about O'Brien, saying he wasn't good enough. Now, the fact that he scored 3 goals in 3 games tells me otherwise. It does. I'm boiling in here and my throat is killing me. But yeah, we've got some big games coming up. So this was the first of 3 consecutive home games. We had Fleetwood, Oxford, Accrington, and then we've got 3 successive away games with Crewe, Ipswich, and Plymouth. Now Crewe was called off at 2 o'clock last time we went there. Stood in the pub. What time should we leave? Oh, don't worry, the game's off. We'll just sit here and have a few points then. And then we've got Ipswich, that's Saturday. And then we have a Tuesday game away at Plymouth. Another rearranged game from a Tuesday. I've got probably blooming out of loose. I'm not going to lie. I probably have. Not a red card and still lost the appeal. The FA hate us. Yeah, no, they do. The FA like to back up their referees. The ref could probably go, send someone off and go and punch him. And they'd go, nah, the ref was in the right. He didn't mean to do anything wrong. He didn't mean to do that. As your throat saying, yeah, it is a bit, but I don't know if that's just because of today. Yeah, we'll find out, won't we? Oh, it's been a long day. Pompey do not make it any easier, do they? Watching Pompey isn't fun. I've gone blurry, haven't I? Focus. There we go. Watching Pompey isn't fun. Never has been fun. And probably never will be fun. When are you back up north? You know when I'm back up north. Never. The south of England is the supreme part of England. Always has been, always will be. I know I'm going to annoy people with that comment, but it's just funny, isn't it? But yeah, it's going to be a long, long end to this season. How long have we got? 2 months. 2 more months of putting up with this. The 30th of April it's scheduled to finish. More games could probably get called off in the meantime, couldn't they? But the 30th of April it will finish, and Pompey will be finished then because they will not be playing playoff football. No, it's not you love the north. It's all right, but it's not quite the south of England, is it? It's not quite the south of England. But yeah, watching Pompey is a chore. I don't know if I say it enough, but it is blooming difficult. Why? Can anyone actually answer me why we do it every week? I'm not going to stand there live stream for too much longer because I have discussed what I wanted to discuss. Whenever we get a chance midweek, me and Dad will sit down together. Where am I off? I don't know. We'll have a look. It will be one of the days of this week. Me and Dad will sit down together. Whether he joins on call, whether he sits next to me, we'll work out. We'll have a discussion about the season so far more because it hasn't been a great season for us, has it? We haven't spent a lot of money, but I think I'm not going to go too much into depth with that because I know Dad has a lot of passionate feelings on that one, especially about the Eisners. So I think we'll leave that one to Dad. A bit snowy up there, not all the time, but it snows more than it does down here. Are you still using COVID passes? No, we're not. We use it for one game. You don't even have to isolate in England anymore. You could have COVID as long as you don't really have. Well, I mean, the rules are now if you have COVID, you don't have to isolate at all. I mean, you can if you want to, I think. And if you have symptoms, they're telling you to probably stay at home. I'm still confused. If you don't have symptoms, you don't have to isolate. I know that. So if I had COVID right now and I tested positive, I wouldn't have to stay at home, which confuses me. But anyway, it's a weird one, really. It is a very, very strange one. But it's been a long season. Take me back to Fleetwood away. Take me back to Fleetwood away. I was looking earlier as well at our form from, I think it was the 18-19 season. We've only lost 4 away games all season. Imagine we had that away form now. We've been only 1 or 4 away games this season, haven't we? I don't know what that was. So it's painful to be a Pompey fan. Not sometimes, all the bleeding time. Because it's a drain. You still have to stay in. I don't think you have to stay in unless you have symptoms. At the Blues, win, lose or draw, mate, won't take our passion away from us. No, it won't. You look at our fans today, we were 3-0 down to Fleetwood. Yep, there were a few boos, but every time we go forward, the fans are behind them. That third goal went in, and I think I went about 15 rows down and underneath Jordan and underneath everyone around there. Jordan ended up on top of me, and then I ended up down the front. And then I hope someone's got that on video because that was amazing. But we're going to end this stream in about 1 or 2 minutes just because I've discussed what I needed to discuss. The video will be out hopefully tomorrow. If not, then it will be out Monday night because it takes ages and ages and ages to edit because my phone, as you know, my actual phone's broken. I'm on an old phone at the minute. I'm on an old phone at the minute. And that phone does not like to cooperate with me. So we'll be on here for about another minute. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to say. Blake going crowd surfing. I pretty much did go crowd surfing, apart from the fact I was underneath. You see Ben today. I didn't get the chance to see Ben. I was going to go see him, but by the time I managed to get out, he'd already gone to the ground. So I left it for today. I'll go and see him again. Hopefully they stay up, so I'll go see them next season. So no, I didn't get the chance to see Ben. Darren says, "Have a good evening." And you, mate. And you. Hopefully we didn't lose, did we? So we can go and watch those highlights without a frown on our faces. I'm probably going to go and sit and have some dinner, watch the highlights. I'll watch Match of the Day later as well. And I'm also probably going to have a look at what Pompey have to do. I've got to revise for tests as well, exams next week. How fun. But exams mean I get Tuesdays off, and Tuesdays off means Oxford. I just wish it was an away game on Tuesday, so that it's frustrating sometimes. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much just going to end. I'll end it at 15:15 so that we can get a round time of just about half an hour. But it's been a pleasure again, everyone. We didn't get many people in today, but I didn't expect us to because people are probably either on their way home or they're at the pub. It is a Saturday night after all. England have beaten Wales in the rugby. Lovely stuff. That's a big win, that as well. Great win, that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming in on this. If you are new, which I pretty much doubt people are new here, but if you are new, don't forget, just go down the bottom there. There's a little red button. I don't know what side it is. One of the sides. Go down there. Just give it a little tap and give it a like because it means a like, not a like, a like. But anyway, go give it a like for me, and I'll see you in the next one. There'll be a video out for the vlog from today. I don't know how long it will be. They'll then hopefully before the game on Tuesday, me and they'll do a live stream. If not, it'll be after. Other than that, that's about what I have to say. There'll be another video for Tuesday's game and Saturday's and the next Tuesday. Loads of videos coming your way, guys. Abby says take it easy. And you, mate. Thank you all for joining me. Anything else you want to say, leave it in the next 30 seconds and I'll have a read later. Good night, guys.